Alright, Lions, so today we finally got some Datamine information in regards on the next set of resurrectable characters, and round of applause, boys, finally, Koga is getting resurrected. Now, Koga, I've been hyping up. I mean, I like this character. I'm a fan of Koga as a character in general, but this Koga in particular was absolutely insane when he released back in September of 2019. He was literally better than the anniversary characters. It was absolutely insane. That ultimately came down to his strong attack kit. He had the best strong attack kit in the game. He had Havoc for a mid-month character. Unheard of for a mid-month character back in 2019. This character was absolutely insane, right? Now, the reason why I've been looking forward to his resurrection, which I've yet to see, is one, mainly for the soul trait. Like, he's a premium character. He's not obviously going to get as special treatment when compared to 1000-year Blood War resurrections. So realistically, I'm hoping for a good soul trait here. That's the main thing I want. Now, the funniest part about his resurrection is that they've been stalling this resurrection for literally like 5+ months. Little tangent before we even look at the character's resurrections, right? He's been the next premium banner to resurrect for, like, again, the last 6 months since like December, January, maybe even longer than that. But they skipped over him because they only did Chronicle Quest bonuses. That's why a banner like Kenpachi, Aizen, and also Ichigo got resurrected before Koga, despite releasing after. Then they were just doing 1000-year Blood War, Seasonals, Kanfio World. So right now, this is the oldest premium banner that has yet to resurrect. In terms of the oldest banner that has yet to resurrect, it is Kanfio on World Round 2 and then eventually 3. Not sure when eventually they're going to get around to doing those characters / banners. But with that in mind, let's have a look at the new characters' resurrections. So first up, let's have a look at GINREI. So GINREI's still decent. I think if anything, if you can just get a good damage output here, that's going to be the most important part, because he is a premium ranged holo killer. You can make a use out of him in very hard guild quests. I would like to say Nightmare, but his damage output is basically non-existent. I mean, you can literally look here. He has only Flare +1. No bruiser value whatsoever. Would be really cool for him to pick up, you know, no attack damage plus a bruiser value, maybe even guard break. Guard break is a skill that we now know resurrectable characters can pick up. Is he going to get it? I don't think so. Doesn't matter. Probably not. Most important thing we're looking at here is a good damage output. And then for the soul trait, a simple 16% normal attack damage to go with 20% DR would be absolutely amazing. Simple character, should get a simple resurrection. Let's check it out. Alright then, so let's check it out. So first up, his innate skill is dodge holo damage plus 50%. And his soul trait is normal attack damage at full stamina plus 20%. Not the best soul trait, a very awkward soul trait, truth be told. We saw that, I think, with Lily Net, I believe, where it makes no sense. Like, you have more damage at full stamina, but then you have damage taken. Really, really dumb soul trait. But then again, it's still a good soul trait nonetheless, to a certain extent. Because at least in guild quest content, where you want to increase your damage output, instead of just using a normal 20% normal attack damage soul trait, using something like this, it's a different multiplier. So it gives you more damage output overall. Not by that much, but this soul trait is still better than a normal 20% normal attack damage soul trait. It's just awkward because, you know, he's a 20% DR. This is a soul trait you want to use for brave battle characters, power ones, like the new, mostly recently resurrected Ugrim. And had he just picked up 16% normal attack damage, it would have been just ideal. It's still a good soul trait. 20% DR is still good, right? You would probably still use it, but you're not really going to get benefits from the second soul trait. But it's still a good soul trait nonetheless. A very awkward one, but still, I don't really mind it. The dodge holo damage is definitely nice. It means he's a bit more tankier in guild quest content, and I think that's what they focused here in terms of guild quest, right? So they don't really want you to use him as a link. I guess he could still be. They're not focusing on his brave battle performance, despite him originally technically being a brave battle character. They're clearly looking at him being a bit more usable in guild quest, and we see that with his damage output. He basically got a 50% normal attack damage increase, and he's a lot safer to use now, since half the time he will be dodging the enemy's attacks. He also does have start barriers, so I guess that's pretty nice. So in terms of GINREI's resurrection, I'd say it's a pretty good one. It's definitely not ideal. It could have been a lot better, right? I think the sword trait could have been better here, mostly just for him being used as a link in brave battles. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I think the idea of using him in the ranged holo guild quests, very hard, more specifically maybe in Nightmare, his damage increase is definitely not over here, and he's also become a bit better in terms of survivability, since now he's dodging half the time, and he also has start barrier, which is always awkward and weird when they limit what resurrectable characters get, because they deserve it more. They deserve plus 15. You can see here, he only gets plus 5. It's a bit dumb. Overall, decent resurrection. Next up, we have GINREI BYAKUYA. Not really sure what to expect with this character, truth be told. I mean, I would like for him to pick up a good secondary soul trait, but we did recently just get the Uru resurrected, which gave a really good soul trait. So I think they're going to go down the statism route and maybe give him more damage to lacerated enemies as a soul trait. Good or bad? I mean, Technic has decent links already, right? I'm not that fussed about it. I'm not really a big fan of these status augment damage soul traits with recharge, for example, but I mean, if it's a new type of soul trait, I don't mind every attribute getting a damage to certain status augment at least once in any given category, just to have it covered in case it ever does become useful in the future. You never know. In terms of his skills, though, he does have Bruiser, Debilitate, the Devastation, Frenzy, Havoc, Sprinter +1, and also Weaken Defense. In this case, you're going to pick up 2 new skills, probably Berserker, and then maybe, I have generally no idea what other skill he could get. So let's just check out his Resurrection. Alright, so first up, his innate skill is Damage Inflicted at full stamina, so I guess they're going to give him full stamina Berserker probably. His soul trait, that's interesting. I like it. I like it. Special move damage plus 30%. We'll take it. I think that could actually be useful. And he did get a 30% Berserker there too. So that's a noticeable damage increase there. Like we saw with GINREI, where they both got a 50% damage increase on their respective attacks. I really do like this sword trait. I guess this is going to be a new one. And we kind of saw it, I think, first introduced, but only character in the game right now to have it actually is a character that came out early this year, right? That being the Fierce Battle Aizen, a 40% special move damage increase. And maybe it's a bit outdated, you know, the nuking meta in Guild Quest is kind of already over. But you can do some fun things with this Aizen. Let's say you're trying to go for like a really high damage output, try and get like a new personal best, most damage in one hit on a soul bomb. Having soul traits like this can make it a bit more fun in my opinion. Now, him having 30% with also the recharge, I can see the use in that. I mean, it's definitely a niche link, but I don't really mind it. Again, he could have got strong attack damage, which would have been okay, but I have plenty of those links. I'd rather have more fun stuff like this, and I'm looking forward to other attributes getting this soul trait too. So yeah, overall, I think it's a decent resurrection once more, right? Also, never realized it's called Young Version. I'm not sure if Hiken actually put that down. Maybe Hiken did. This is all, of course, provided by Hiken, right? But Byakuya as a character is kind of mediocre, right? So, like, no matter what he got, you're not really ever going to use him. I'm liking the soul trait, though. And, of course, I'm liking the fact that I'm getting orbs for owning this character. And now, hopefully saving the best for last, let's have a look at Koga's resurrection. So again, I would love for him to get a good upgrade as a character, but I'm mostly looking at the soul trait. 14% recharge, you do not want to mess that up. Give us a good secondary soul trait. Strong attack damage at full stamina, for example, would be a great second soul trait. With some of Candice most recently, she got a really good upgrade, but then as a link, it's not the best upgrade. And my thought process at the time was, okay, maybe they're not giving her a good link because they're going to give the good link to Koga. Let's hope that's the case. So yeah, more strong attack damage at full stamina or even full stamina. Strong attack damage would be ideal on his second soul trait. For his skills, he has Bruiser, Debilitate, Devastation, Frenzy, Havoc, and also Sprinter +1. Therefore, Minnie's going to pick up 2 new skills, most likely full stamina damage and Berserker, like we saw with young Byakuya. Maybe? Let's find out. Alright, so please be a good soul trait. First up, let's look at the innate skills. Decrease hollow damage taken, that's whatever. Low stamina, no! Why have they done this? They did it to Nelly L2. Oh my god, no way. Not like this. Increased status and chance. No! How are they going fumbled Koga? Oh my god. How have they got ahead and fumbled Koga? That's a troll. That's a troll resurrection. So let's explain why this is bad. So again, damage at low stamina. It could be a good soul trait. It could be a good soul trait in the future, right? But low stamina is always a downgrade when compared to full stamina because you have to take damage. You have to sit there, take damage. If we could have a way to start the quest at low stamina, besides like a 1 out of 10 common stage, this would be a very good soul trait. And I'm annoyed by it because, again, he's a 40% recharge. There's not that many of them out there. Make them perfect, right? And we saw with Naliel, they did the exact same thing. I think I just don't want to make this a good soul trait, right? So it's a bit ridiculous he did get low stamina. The decreased damage taken for someone like Koga isn't going to help him out. It might even make it slower for him to even get to low stamina, but I guess give him more protection when he is at that low stamina threshold. The 30% Berserker is nice. And in a way, like the other 2 characters, they got a 50% damage increase. But in this case, Koga has to be at low stamina. And then the increased stats on the chance against hot attribute hollows. The reason why that absolutely sucks is because Koga only has 2 attacks that can inflict status summons. So his SA1, his Natstring, not like you're using his Natstring anyway, but his SA1 can't inflict status summons. So that skill is very awkward on a character that only has 3 attacks that can inflict status summons. So yeah, that's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Again, I'm not that fussed about it because like I already have good set of links anyway, but it would have been nice. I was really looking forward to his resurrection, and I think they did fumble it a bit. Again, the only thing I was looking at here was for the soul trait, and they gave him low stamina. I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. They did the same thing for Christmas Nelio. It sucks, but it is what it is, I guess, right? It is what it is. As for the character, I mean, he got a tiny bit better, but nothing too super crazy. Ultimately, what we are looking at here is 3 interesting soul traits, to say the least. I didn't expect GINREI and Byakuya to get the soul traits they did get. I'm actually liking Byakuya's soul trait, and I'm looking forward to other characters get it. GINREI's soul trait could have been a tad bit better, but it's still a good soul trait nonetheless. The extra 20% normal attack damage can be good as a different multiplier on your power characters. Koga, yeah, again, could have been a lot better. And all 3 characters, fun enough, saw a 50% damage increase in their own unique ways. Most importantly, though, it is a second resurrection batch this month, so if you do own the characters, that's an additional 200 plus orbs, which of course you should be saving for the anniversary. Now, next resurrection batch that we do get in 2 weeks' time potentially will be swimsuit characters. That might happen in July though. But the next premium banner now is going to be Isane, Rukia, and also Kiyone / Sentomaru. And in Rukia's case, she is a 14% recharge. So let's hope she doesn't pick up damage to frozen enemies, and hopefully she doesn't pick up low stamina. But again, I'm hoping that we do finally start getting calm field resurrections, because they are very inconsistent. Right now, 1000 Year Blood War is like so far ahead, it's crazy. Look at this. We're past 5th Annie for 1000 Year Blood War. Next banner to get resurrected for 1000 Year Blood War, which might be next month actually, it's going to be Nanao, Gremi, and also Lige. And hopefully that means I can finally pick him up, because he's the oldest character I'm missing in my box. Surprisingly, I don't own him, and right now apparently the only way I'm going to get him is if I buy him for a character pack, which honestly at this point I wouldn't mind. Either way, lads, that was the video for today, going over the new set of resurrections. Let me know what you guys think about them in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.